What it do? Yo, man, listen. Today, I want to take a closer look at your character screens and talk about what the numbers actually mean. Let's get right into the video. So, for the remainder of this video, I will be using Athena as my display character because I think she has access to a lot of things I want to talk about. And I think she's a simple enough character that people will understand. She's also a character most of you will pick up, throughout your time playing Tacticus. There are three main parts when it comes to your character screen. First is your abilities, which is in the middle of your screen, the two big circles. There's the character rarity, which is above the active ability. It's legendary for me. There's the character rank, which is below your equipment, where your gun and shields are. And then there are your character stats. These are on the right side of your screen. There's a lot of them. So I'll cover all of these individually, and hopefully by the end of this video you will have a better understanding of what the numbers actually mean. First things first, abilities. Each character has an active and a passive ability. Active abilities on the left, passive abilities on the right. These circles have smaller circles attached to them with a number inside. That number indicates their level. So if you look at my character, my Athena's active ability is level 8. My Athena's passive ability is level 50. This is because I value the passive significantly more than her active ability. Now, the main difference between the active and the passive ability is that the active ability is often a one and done thing. For example, if you're doing a guild raid, if you're doing a campaign mission, if you're doing a legendary release event, you will press the button to use your active ability. And then once that active ability concludes, it will be over. You will no longer be able to use the active ability until you start a new game, in the sense that like a new guild raid, new legendary release event, mission, whatnot. The passive ability, on the other hand, it is permanently active. It has no condition. It does have conditions for you to be able to benefit from them. However, it is always online. It doesn't go away. It is active. So, for example, if I use Athena's active ability, which is a dash, I dash, and if I use it on the first round of a guild raid, I will no longer be able to dash for the remaining 5 rounds. Athena's passive ability, on the other hand, it is a 2 hex aura around the character, which buffs other characters. Now, if there are no characters within Athena's aura, I don't get the benefit. However, it's not because her aura is down, it's just I don't meet the conditions required to benefit from it. The passive is always active. One thing that is very important to understand is characters that give a buff to other characters often don't benefit from the buffs that they are giving. For example, Athena gives 400 damage and a crit chance to all adjacent units, all friendly units that are close to her. However, she does not get the 400 damage, and she doesn't get the 20% crit chance from her own buff. Another thing is rarity and rank. As I said, rarity is above your active ability. For me, I have legendary, which is the highest rarity you can go, and your character rank is right below your equipment. You increase your character rank by inserting items to the character. Your items will be right here where the text is. It'll be something like this. There will be 6 items you can insert. Whenever there is a green plus sign, you can insert the items, and you will see that each time you insert an item, your character's stats improve, a little bit, and then at higher ranks, it starts improving drastically. Now, the character rarity, it goes all the way from common to a legendary, and each time you go from the major ranks, you get a percentage increase to your active and your passive abilities. As you can see, when I'm going from epic to legendary, when I ascend my character, ascension meaning going from epic to legendary, like changing rarities, you get a percent increase to your abilities. However, in each rank, there are also star levels. So legendary, for example, starts at 3 stars, and then it goes up to 4 stars, 5 stars, and then a legendary star. Each time you add a star to your character, which you do by putting shards in the character, they will get a 10% increase to their health, damage, and armor stats. So the higher star level your character is, the more their stats will reflect that. Additionally, your character's item rank is limited by their rarity. For example, if I have an epic character, the highest rank they can get is gold. However, when I improve that character to legendary, I will be able to get them all the way to diamond 3. As I said, when you insert items to the character, it improves their stats. And when you ascend a character, which is going from one rarity to the higher one, the active and passive ability also improve. Now, character stats is the meat of this video, I would like to say. There are a lot of them. First things first is the health. This is the health that's required to kill your character, right? If someone does 7,300 damage to my Athena will die. Armor protects the health essentially. The way it works is your opponent has a attack, and say that attack does no pierce ratio, just for the sake of argument, so just for simplicity. The way it works is, say they do 3,000 damage to my character, and I have 1,552 armor. The way the game works is it will reduce the armor stat from the damage stat, and that's the damage I take. Speaking of damage stat, it's pretty straightforward. It's the number. This is the number you'll be doing. You'll do 20% more, 20% less. It's random, but you know, the average is this number. Movement is how far your character can go. The average movement is 3 hexes. The high move characters are 4. Athena has the highest movement with 5, and the lower movements are 2. So 2 hex movers are slow. An important note is that the hex that you're currently standing on does not count as a part of your movement. So if you're standing on a hex and you have 5 movement, you can move 5 hexes, not starting from the hex you're standing at. So if you also count the hex you're currently standing on, that's 6 hexes, which, you know, it is like a consolation prize for characters with 2 movement. It's not as crazy. Now, attacks are very important because they often get, you know, have their own stats and whatnot. For example, whenever I want to attack something with Athena, she has a melee attack. She doesn't have a ranged attack. Her melee, this is the melee icon, is a fist, right? Because it's melee. There's the pierce ratio, the pierce type as well. So her pierce type is piercing. And the pierce ratio, you can click on it and it will tell how much of the enemy's armor it ignores. Pierce essentially means ignoring your enemy's armor by a percentage amount. Athena has piercing, right? So it's 80% of it, just ignores an enemy's armor by 80%. And she has 3 hits. So the way this will work is Athena will do 3 hits to an enemy, each individual hit doing 1,280 damage and ignoring 80% of the enemy's armor because of the pierce and damage type. If there is another ability, another attack, I mean, some characters have both a melee and ranged attack, it will look very similar to this. However, the melee number will be a circle with a number in the middle. That number indicates how much range, how far you have to be from the enemy to use it. Certain characters, such as Rosvita, have a ranged and melee attack, and they have different hits. For example, she only has 2 hits in shooting and 3 hits in melee, so it might be better to try to get into melee to get that extra hit, because remember, each hit does your damage stat. Additionally, below your stats, there are crit and armor values as well. Now, giving your characters equipment, such as guns and shields, increases your crit chance and block chance. Rather, increase is not correct, but rather it gives your character a crit chance and a block chance. The way crits and blocks work are very similar. Whenever you make your attack, say I attack with Athena, I have a 35% chance on my initial hit to do plus 700 damage. If I fail that 35% chance, the remaining hits, they physically cannot crit. However, if the initial hit crits and the first hit gets a 700 damage bonus, what'll happen is a second hit will also have a 35% chance to crit for an additional 700, and if that fails, the last hit will not crit either. Block is very similar, however, it functions off your opponent's hits. Say Athena is being attacked by an enemy that has 6 hits. The way it will work is the first hit, I have a 35% chance to block it. If I block it, that hit's damage is reduced by 800. Then I go to the second hit, I have a 35% chance to block it. If I block it, it gets reduced by 800 again. And say I'm in the third hit, I fail to block it, then the remaining hits will not have their damage reduced. Now, it's important to understand one thing. Just like normal 40k, there are a lot of characters in the game that break the mold. I have made a statement saying you can use the active ability once and it's done. There's a character called Tangida. It's on the right side of the screen. It's a AdMech character. The way his active ability works is you can use it every single turn to change essentially a passive. Like his active ability is it's like a toggle on-off passive ability. So he works differently. There is a character called Barkwell, I think. He is one of the new Dark Angels characters. He's a Terminator. His active ability has a cooldown, but it's reusable, so it's very interesting. There's also characters that are healers. The way they work is when they stand next to a character that they can heal, they can press on them, and when they do, they heal their damage stat. They heal the amount of their damage stat on the target that's being healed. Now, this is the basic information of like how it works and whatnot. I really hope it was helpful. And if you have any questions, you can ask in the comments. I will try my best to answer them to the best of my ability. The Bloody Rose Discord server. It's an awesome place filled with awesome people wanting more awesome people such as yourself to join it. It's a cluster of the main Bloody Rose guild, the Bloody Rose Celestians, Bloody Rose Freelancers, top 3 guild, top 10 guild, top 8 guild. Pretty awesome place filled with great people. However, do not be scared by the fact that there's so many high-level guilds in there. It's a place that is welcoming to new and old players alike. If you're more casual, if you're more veteran, more active and whatnot, you feel free to join up. Find my channel. It's called Draupnir Gang. It's a place where you can reach me. You can send me video ideas, ask questions you want. It's a nice place, a welcoming place. There's also tools you can use to talk about to higher level players, ask them for strategies and whatnot regarding guild raids, team comps. You can use the tools available to you to ask people how you should progress your roster, what characters to focus, anyways, you get the message. It's a great place filled with great people, and you should join. There's a link in the description. It doesn't fade, I don't think. I've been working on that for a little bit. Whenever you join, type Draupnir Gang with an exclamation point. It just puts a smile on my face. It's a great place. Thank you very much for watching my video. I genuinely appreciate it. Special thanks to Diesel Fox, Papa John, Little Llama, and Sarp for entering my refer friend code. It genuinely means a lot to me that you do this. However, if you don't do it, that doesn't make me appreciate you any less. You giving me the time of day, it means a lot to me. I really appreciate you watching my videos, giving me the time of day, commenting, reaching me out on Discord. It means a lot to me. I am eternally grateful to each and every single one of you who watch my videos. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. Have a great day, and stay safe.